Developing tonight, a United plane was forced to return back to DIA this evening after the airline says there was a wildlife strike shortly after takeoff. Video shared by a witness with 9 News tonight shows a plane in that area roughly the same time with flames shooting out of the right engine. The Boeing 737 was heading to Edmonton with 153 passengers and 6 crew members on board. The plane landed safely back in Denver. Everybody is safe, we're told, and the airport says no injuries to report tonight. Thanks so much for joining us on this Sunday evening. I'm Jennifer Meckles.
And I'm Mark Salinger. That incident comes 1 month to the day after an airplane at Denver International Airport caught fire after landing there. That was an American Airlines plane. Now, a passenger on that plane was trying to hold the airline accountable. He filed a lawsuit that accuses American Airlines of negligence and misconduct for this incident that you see on your screen. The man says he was hurt because the airline failed to properly maintain the plane and follow emergency protocols. It's according to the lawsuit that's been recently filed. The plane was heading from Dallas from Colorado Springs when it had engine issues and diverted to Denver. The right engine then caught fire after landing, and everyone evacuated onto the plane's wings.
You know, the frustration is a lot with how American chose to handle the situation. Didn't declare an emergency the entire time, despite being asked by ATC, are you declaring an emergency now? Chose not to, landed with a vibrating engine, chose not to get trucks standing by, chose not even to have a fire truck follow them.
The man's attorney says more lawsuits are expected to be filed this week. We've reached out to American Airlines several times for comment, but have not heard back.
Police in Pennsylvania have arrested a man they say deliberately set fire to the house of Democratic Governor Josh Shapiro. This happened overnight. Shapiro and his family were sleeping inside that home at the time. They were safely evacuated. Nobody got hurt. Shapiro says this attack was targeted, but that it would not deter him from his work as governor. Police say the suspect made a homemade incendiary device and then broke into that home. He's now facing charges including attempted murder and arson.
A teenager in Wisconsin is accused of killing his parents as part of a plan to assassinate President Donald Trump and try and overthrow the U.S. government. While investigating the killings of his parents, authorities found materials linking him to a neo-Nazi network that advocates for violence and destruction of modern civilizations. Authorities say he called for Trump's assassination and believe he may have killed his parents in order to try and get financial means to pursue his plan. He's currently facing multiple charges, including first-degree murder in both of his parents' deaths.
All right, let's turn to the weather now. What a difference a day makes. After a record-setting hot weekend tonight, things have really cooled off here in Denver. Let's bring in Corey Reppenhagen now. Setting records this weekend now. We're talking about snow overnight. That's quite the swing.
Welcome to Colorado.
Yeah. Right, exactly. Isn't it entertaining around here? Spring for sure. Record high temperatures. First 86 degree, earliest 86 degree temperature of the entire 153-year record in Denver. Right to this. Here we have these rain and snow showers developing across the northern part of Colorado right now, and it will just gradually start to sag down here, and it should make its way to the Denver metro area. Not yet. There's no precipitation in the downtown area or really anywhere in the metro at the moment here. Temperatures are dropping though. We're in the 40s. It looks like we're going to get down there pretty close to freezing, so this should flip over. Once it starts raining, it'll eventually start flipping over to snow, probably around 3 a.m. or so. So between 3 a.m. and about 4, maybe 5, we'll have a chance to get some snow accumulation right here in the Denver metro area. So we are watching that rain and snow overnight. It'll be gone by the time the sun gets here. We do have a little bit of mountain snow and then a warm up coming in the middle of the week. I'll talk about all of that stuff coming up in the full forecast.
Corey, thank you. Well, we saw some high fire danger over the weekend that led to the start of a fire in Douglas County. The U.S. Forest Service says the Turkey Track fire is now 30% contained. It's burned about 120 acres so far. It's burning north of Woodland Park near the Turkey Track shooting area, close to Highway 67 and Rainbow Falls. There are no buildings threatened, but the shooting area is closed. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. Meanwhile, up at Rocky Mountain National Park, they're hoping for favorable weather this week, which will help them with the prescribed burn on Tuesday. They're planning on burning 60 acres in the park south of Highway 36. Officials say heavy and prolonged smoke shouldn't really be an issue if everything goes according to plan. If they are able to conduct the burn, the Beaver Meadows entrance to the park will be closed from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. on Tuesday.
Aurora police say they have arrested a man in connection with a shooting that left 3 people injured, including a child. Police say last night, 18-year-old Christopher Campos Aguiano shot into a car on Airport Boulevard near Colfax. Police say it all started when the victims had agreed to meet the suspects to sell them something. The suspects allegedly took the items and then took off without paying, and then the victims followed. Police say that is when the shooting happened. A man and a woman in the front seat of the victim's car, they were both shot, and a child in the back suffered a small graze wound. There were 2 other kids in the back. They were not hurt. Police arrested Campos Aguiano on suspicion of second-degree attempted murder, and investigators are still trying to figure out if anybody else will also be arrested.